If you haven't already, before you tune in, make sure you check out our Explain episode so you know what this Class of 2020 show is all about.
G'day guys and welcome to the Where Do We Begin podcast. Joel Weston here, the best fisherman and golfer at the Fremantle Dockers Football Club. And I got the pleasure to sit down with Lockie and Harper for a great down-to-earth chat. Hope you all enjoy it and let's get stuck in it.
Thanks for that, Joel, and hello and welcome to another very special episode of Where Do We Begin, Class of 2020 series. My name's Lockie and my co-host is Harper. Harps, how are we today?
Oh, I'm very good and very glad to be on the other side of an intro for once, but I reckon we should just get straight into this episode with Joel Weston.
Let's dive in.
Okay, and this Class of 2020 guest, he went at pick 54 in the draft, born on the 12th of October 2002, so he's 18 years old at the time of recording, and he came from Freo's Next Generation Academy, actually part of that, drafted by the Fremantle Dockers, of course. Delighted to welcome onto the show Mr. Joel Weston. How are you, Joel?
Hey boys, thanks for having me on.
Geez, Joel, born 2002, you're making me feel old.
Where are you born? What time are you?
What time of year? I'm a 98, mate, but we'll move on because you're making me feel old. So how are you going today?
I'm going very well. Just come back from recovery, so feeling pretty fresh and ready to get the show on the road. Yeah,
it would be great. So we're gonna, as we are planning on having this series, have maybe a couple episodes a year, something like that. We're going to do some kind of questions, see how you progress as a guy and as a player over the years, over the months, whatever it is. But start off with a bit of a question that's going to stay the same. Tell us a bit about your early life and your family life growing up in WA, I'm guessing?
Yeah, so I grew up in WA, was born in Perth, but moved down to Dunsborough, which is about three hours south of Perth, which is a nice little spot there. So definitely encourage you boys, if you ever get over to WA, to go down.
God's country out there.
Spot. Yeah, really, really good spot there. And spent probably about 10 till I was about 10 years old. Stayed there too, and then came up here and finished off high school and finished off my sporting career, like my junior career, and progressed into, lucky enough, to the Freya's list.
I could be incorrect, Dunsborough, there's a fair few footy players that come out from there, isn't there? Is it a bit of a footy factory, or am I just incorrect?
No, it's not really a footy factory. It had me and Logan McDonald as well, was also a Dunsborough boy. We grew up there together, and Ben Stratton's from there as well. But I think that's all. That's about it, to be honest. Not me.
Yeah. Now you told me in the old Instagram DMs. Lockie doesn't know this. Lockie's a big Cats fan. You're a Cats fan growing up as well. So
yeah,
is that a common thing going for Victorian teams in WA or not?
Yeah. To be honest, there's out of my friendship group that I've grown up with, there's not actually many that are just Eagles and Dockers. There's a couple Hawks, couple Collingwood, all around the shot really. I'm a Cats man myself, so yeah, just varies.
Cats man before, but now you're a Dockers man now. So tell us about what it was like, after being drafted, your first day at the club. But yours might have been a little bit different. Am I correct in saying you were an academy selection, so you'd been around the club before?
Yeah. So I've done some time around the club before. Lucky enough, which is good. I was able to settle in a bit more quicker than some of the other boys, and happen to made some connections before, so I was able to settle in a bit quicker, which is good.
Yeah. Any other boys drafted by the Dockers that came through the academy that you know of? Anyone that you knew before getting drafted?
Yeah. So there was obviously Brandon Walker, who was part of our draft class, and then there was also the year before me, Liam Henry and Leno Thomas, who were also Claremont boys, where I grew up playing my footy. So it's, knew some boys before.
Yeah, lovely. What can people kind of, especially Dockers fans, what can people expect from you this year? Whether you play all 22 games or none, what kind of player are you? Tell us about yourself.
I'll be playing half forward for the Dockers. We got some designated small forward roles, so that's the type of play, the role I'll be playing. I like to use my speed and run and carry with the ball and kick some goals.
Yeah, I love to hear that, mate, because I feel like half forwards nowadays, a lot of the time, some play a defensive role, but I love that you're coming in, you want to kick the goals. Do you have the big celebration going? That's what I want to ask next. Do you have a go-to?
Nah, no celebration at the moment. I got told off because I kicked the goal in the inter club on Friday and had no celebration. So I got to work on it, but I'm not big of a celebrator. So
Yeah, is there? We know there are lots of celebrators around, but in terms of like your style of play, is there someone that you kind of mold yourself on? Someone that you're similar to that people know and love already?
current game, I like to think that I play pretty similar to Shea Bolton. Obviously, he's progressed into midfield now, and that might be something in hopefully for them, in the system in maybe 4 years' time. Maybe I could have a bit of midfield minutes as well. So, pretty similar to that. As also Sonny Walters, Michael Walters as well, and obviously just love to watch Cyril Rioli highlights and take some tricks out of his book, as everyone would.
Mate, couple of good names there. I reckon if you're half the player that those guys are, Freo will be pretty stoked. I'm sure that you'll be well on your way to doing that, mate. Very talented player. But I guess coming into the club, both good and bad, what's been the biggest surprise to you since coming into the AFL system? Has there been anything that you like, whether it's been like diet or the training workloads? Like, what's really surprised you about when you've joined the AFL list?
Yeah, I'd definitely say the workloads. Really, it's you hear about it all the time. It's a big step up. It's a big jump from like the district footy that you used to play. But it was a huge step for me. The first couple of weeks left me pretty exhausted, and there were some training sessions I actually had to pull out of because I was just like really dehydrated and just like pretty much just drained. So so there's a lot to take out of that, which includes like preparation and stuff and making sure I'm getting the right sleep. But now I've made that adaptation, waking up and getting to training on time, and the day's just become little bit easier now. So it's good.
Yeah, would you still call it kind of stressful? Still being fairly new, only been around the club a few months. Do you still kind of work in with some nerves at all, or are you fully kind of integrated?
I reckon I'm pretty integrated at the moment. There might be times where there's a bit of nerves, but now settling in with some of the boys and making good friendships, I'm pretty comfortable around the club. And well, for example, at trainings, I never used to like using my speed. I kind of just like to kind of give the first option, but I was encouraged to use my speed quite a lot. And now settling in, being a bit more comfortable, I'm able to kind of take the game on a bit more.
Yeah, awesome. And obviously, Freo, there's some great senior players there. There's the captain, Nat 5. You got David Mundy, who never seems to age. I mean, how old is he now? Is he 45? You've got Michael Walters, mate. You've got some awesome senior players on the list. Like, who's really taken you under the wing and really made you feel welcome? Whether it's a coach or even the coaches, the players, what's really, I guess, helped you and mentored you along your journey so far?
Yeah, Michael Walters definitely took me under his wing. I've done a bit of work with him beforehand, before getting to the club through the Next Generation Academy. But, once settling into the club, he's definitely taught me some amazing things. And, I've made some good friendships, like I said, with some other players like Roy Lobb and people like that. But, Sonny definitely took me under his wing first.
So what's he shown you? Like, what does he help to, like, I guess, add to your game?
He's just got a really in-depth knowledge about the game, and his character in general. He's a really great on-field leader and off-field as well. He's really he's serious about the game, and he knows the game in serious depth. He knows the ins and outs of the games, and it shows because he finds a way to dominate games. So, I'm obviously going to take every bit of advice he gives me and take it on board and make sure I apply it.
Yeah. Now, a question we ask on all the regular episodes, and we're planning to ask on all these Class of 2020 episodes as well. This will probably change a lot throughout our interviews each time we do it, and you're probably the youngest guest we've ever had on the show. But I've got to ask you, Matt, do you have a life philosophy at the moment? Any quotations or mantras, anything like that you live by?
Not really any quotations or anything like that, but I'm reading a book at the moment, and it's got some really good quotes as well in it, and it's like something I'd really like to go by is just being like really relentless, kind of. So, for example, I'd not get in the game in the scratch match tomorrow against the Eagles, but just being relentless and make sure I'm hitting back at it, and training hard just to push my way into the squad for the next week after that.
What's that book called?
It's called Relentless by Tim Grover. It's a really good book. It talks about mostly Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan stuff. He's done a lot of work with them on the mental side, but yeah, it's a really, really good book, and I encourage every listener to give it a read. Sure.
Mate, that's awesome. Like, have you always worked on your mental side of the game, or is that sort of just something that you've added on after, I guess, finishing up your junior career and then going to the AFL and looking for that extra edge?
Yeah, no, that's definitely something that's just come on recently because you don't realise, but yeah, the mental side is definitely a huge side of the of the game. Like, you don't realise because you're able to go through the motions a little bit in the like junior levels, but once you get up to the highest step and the highest level, it truly does take a big mental toll. So yeah, definitely just been getting into it recently. Yeah.
Now, mate, we're gonna, before we wrap up, we're gonna before we get to our last segment, sorry, we're gonna quickly whip through some quick questions, some quick fire questions to kind of get to know you as a person. Listeners might be interested by this kind of thing. So, first one, you got 2 hours of time on your hands. You can do whatever you want with 2 hours. What are you doing?
With 2 hours, I reckon where I am right now, I'd probably go have a hit of golf with my mates, or maybe go for a fish.
Do you hit off scratch?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, now you've got 2 weeks of spare time. What are you doing? Where are you going? Like, where's your dream holiday destination? What are you doing in those 2 weeks?
You can go wherever you want around the world.
Oh, it'd have to be. I reckon I'd love to go for a trip to the Maldives or something like that. We're a nice little coastal spot. Just to, have a really good holiday for sure. It'd be a good break mentally as well.
Yeah, it does sound like a good one. Next one, your 3 biggest personal strengths in your opinion. What do you reckon they are?
This is a tough one. Personal strength.
You don't need to be humble or anything like that, or you can list humble as one of your strengths, but you can get cocky if you want. I don't mind. We don't care.
Don't even have to list 3. Just like it's a tough question.
No, so I like to think I'm a pretty good leader to my peers, and then also very good at PlayStation. And
what are you playing on the sticks at the moment?
Just 2K really at the moment. A lot of us we got into lockdown, jump back onto Fortnite, so that was pretty fun to give the memories a bit of a run. But I can't really think of a third, to be honest.
Yeah, fair enough.
All right, and now I reckon this one could be even harder. So what are your 3 biggest personal weaknesses? Now, you don't have to give 3. You can give 1 or 2 or just whatever you feel comfortable with.
Weaknesses. This is probably something that I'd have to been working on is the relentless side of, the mental side of things. In the past, there's been times when maybe I haven't been selected for something or didn't get picked to play a game, and I'd kind of just mope around and want everyone to feel sorry for me kind of thing. But I've kind of changed into that thing where it's work even harder to earn my spot instead of just sulking kind of. So being a bit relentless was something. Some other weaknesses. What else? Don't really have anything else, honestly.
Mate, that's an awesome attitude to have, though, that you've managed to identify an area in which you need to improve on, and then you've actually gone out and done it, mate. That's a great attitude to have, and I think a lot of 18-year-olds wouldn't have that attitude. So I think a lot of Dockers fans and I'm really impressed by that. I'm a couple of years older than you, and I wouldn't have that attitude, mate. That's awesome. Yeah, it's awesome.
Cheers.
All right, and now we get on to our one of our favourite segments. It is the quiz. So this little quiz is a little bit different. So it's going to be how well you know your club or teammate. So I don't know how much Freo history that you've studied, mate, but I'm expecting you to be relentless in this quiz.
Let's go.
All right, Lockie, you want to kick things off? Number 1?
Yeah. In which year did Freo play their first season of the AFL?
Or 1995.
Bang on, mate. You have got that. Great start. It only gets harder from here, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does get harder. So question 2. So do you have the list of players who wore the number 34 on your locker?
No, only the players that have played like 150 games plus, I think. So I think there's only one on.
Yeah, okay. Well, fair enough. But you're number 34 for the listeners that don't know. I'm hoping that's correct. So second question is, who wore the number 34 for Freo in their only grand final?
I would have had to be Lee Spur.
Oh,
Spot on. Smashed it. Very nice. He's the guy in your locker, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. So 2 out of 2, off to a good start. So question 3. So for people who don't know, Lockie attended Peninsula Grammar in Mount Eliza in Victoria. So one of your teammates also went to the very same school as Mr. Lachlan Gibbs over here. So which one of your teammates went to Peninsula Grammar?
So it's in Victoria, did you say?
in Victoria.
Yeah, in Mount
Victoria,
Eliza.
recent drafty, so that should narrow it down.
Or a recent drafty.
Like recent, like over the last 3 years.
I'd have to go with Sam Sturt.
Bang on,
He's
mate.
nailed it. Very nice. Kicked 2 or 3 goals against my Bombers, I believe, in his first game, I reckon it was. But Lockie, you want to give us your last question?
Jeez, he's done well for 4 from 4 and definitely earned my respect. Name the 6 players at Fremantle who have played in an AFL Grand Final.
Michael Walters,
Yep.
David Mundy, Nat Fife. Okay, so but there would have been Joel Hamling,
Yep.
Yep.
James Aish,
Yep.
One more.
and far out. I think I'm going to have to go into a deep think here. Matt Taberner.
No.
Matt Taberner is incorrect.
On the final hurdle.
Oh, jeez. He could have got 4 points from 4, but the answer is Stephen Hill.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Joel's very sorry to Stephen if you're listening, mate. But
Yeah.
I think that just about wraps us up. So we'll chat again to you in 6 months or so times, and we'd like to give you a big thanks for coming on. Joel Weston, thank you very much, mate.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a good chat.
Thank you very much, Joel, for coming on the show. It's a pleasure having you, and we're looking forward to seeing how the season unfolds for yourself, and looking forward to speaking to you again in about 6 months' time to catch up and a bit of post-season chat.
Yep, can't wait for that. Thank you very much, Joel, as well as thank you, of course, to our listeners for sticking around. We appreciate all your support and all that you do for us.
Great episode coming out tomorrow with Ryan Angwin. Hope you guys all tune in. Thanks for listening.